Another one that came out of the Sundance Film Festival, also about a teacher struggling with their kids, but here it's more so the teacher trying to shape the kids as much as it was the student changing the teacher. Radical. It is based off of a true story. There's a whole article about it. I haven't caught that yet, but I am working on a video for this and Holdovers kind of combined. And this is a movie that comes from Mexico. It's from Eugenio's own production company. It's about this teacher who decides to go teach in Juarez after an incident that they don't really get too much into. I'm curious if the article does. Where all of these students, like, they are going to class and there are gunshots outside of their building. They get into school, and if you're late, you won't be let in because they will bar the doors. When people go home from school, they're seeing bodies on the floor, and it's like
Yeah.
freedom riders in Mexico, which just like
Right.
amps it up just a little bit more.
In the heart of like cartel land,
Literally.
particularly. Yeah.
Um, I enjoyed the movie. It is
Yeah.
definitely a standard movie when it comes to, like we were mentioning, Freedom Writers. There's a movie that what's his name just came out with, Critical Thinking or Critical Role. What's his name? I'm blanking on him. Uh, I can't remember, but it's like
Yeah,
Critical
not
Role.
sure.
It was pretty much they were going through statistics. The Teacher from Argentina just came out not too long ago. Another similar movie of this type. But what I really liked about this one is the energy that he brings to the performance, specifically because he's a teacher who's helping elementary school kids not even learn, just to care. Like, a bunch of these students just do not think that they're going to make it to, like, the next day, much less the next year when it comes to their education, because they're either going to have to stay home to take care of siblings that they didn't know they were going to have. Some of them are already like, they're already in a gang that they didn't even realize the initiation already happened. And he brings in this type of very bombastic character who wants to make it fun, who just wants to have that curiosity in them. And I've told you multiple times, I think that we're in this era of, like, nobody learns anything unless they're dunking on another person. And this is a movie that's showing learning up on screen, and that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to, like, have that trial and error to be able to come up with a conclusion that you can come up with yourself. A lot of the people in my theater were crying. I took my mom to go see this one, and she was very cold hearted. She was just like, it wasn't the saddest movie. They're hyping it up too much. It is obviously being hyped up, I think, a little too much. With it winning the audience award winner at Sundance, and with it getting its rollout right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it takes away from it being a very heartwarming
Yeah.
story, especially because it's a true one. And I would recommend it as a junior price, but definitely when it's a rental is where I would say catch it, because it really got me, especially towards some of the ending shots and moments that you get with the characters at the end of the
Yeah.
film.
Look, like some of the inside baseball when it comes to these film festivals and the movies that win the audience award prizes is that they're not awarding the most challenging or upsetting films audience awards. Zone of Interest, Killers of the Flower Moon, movies that are very like downtrodden or leave you with an unhappy ending, Uncut Gems and stuff like that. Those aren't the movies that are winning audience awards. It's films that kind of leave you with a smile or leave you kind of feeling lifted. And even if they are addressing real things, as we've seen, like Toronto gave like Jojo Rabbit the audience award once upon a time, or American Fiction got it this year too. They can address real things, but they kind of do it in a way that
Wrapped
makes
up
it
in a
very
bow.
palatable. Yeah. And like that's what you get here. Like it's a film that is very much like aware of real issues and addressing them, but it's ultimately like packaged in a way that makes Eugenio Derbez really charming and is a good showcase for his talents, both comedically and dramatic. And it plays
Yeah.
into like the a very satisfying film arc, the stand and deliver type of movie. So I think as long as you kind of know what you're going in for, you're going to be satisfied with it.
Yeah, no, right here, hit it on the dime. It's Coda. Like, this is a perfect Apple movie. This isn't even picked up by Apple yet, and I'm already assuming it's an Apple movie.
Yeah.
Again, another one where it's like, yeah, we enjoyed it, we liked it, everything that's in there. Bro, there's a point towards the end of the movie, right? I loved how he was teaching these kids, and then they're like, we got to do standardized testing. Like, those kids, every single one failed. We just came out laughing. We're like, none of those kids learned anything that they needed to
Right.
from the syllabus. But there are really heartwarming moments in this. Some very heavy hitting moments as well. But Yeah, I'd be curious to see more people's thoughts on this. I don't know where it ended up in the box office because Eugenio's like one of the very few international stars, especially coming out of Mexico, where like the instructions not included. I remember when we went to go catch that movie and I made a little review and my views started popping off. I'm like, what's going on? It had broke the top five of the box office and like nobody saw that coming. He then did it again with like Overboard. He had done it with a couple of other movies. I don't know where this is falling in the top 10. I didn't get to check the box office earlier, but for the screenings that I went to, they were pretty sold out. So I can see that a lot of people have been gravitating towards the movie. Hence why it won the audience one over at Sundance. But still a pretty decent movie between the two teaching ones that are out
Yeah,
this week
I
in
think it
theaters.
ended up in fifth at the box office, which is like honestly
Hey,
not that bad considering
that's
like,
top
I,
half.
yeah, it wasn't like a huge release. It didn't
Wow,
get a lot of like commercials or anything like that. Just sort of taking a quick look over at Box Office Mojo, it was only in 419 theaters compared to the 3,700 that Five
what?
Nights at Freddy's was at. So that's pretty respectable for a
That's
movie like
dude.
this one.
That's crazy.
2.7 million first
We
weekend.
we got to get Eugenio in the show, bro.
Especially like we're not going to talk about this, but there's the Meg Ryan romantic comedy that
Yeah.
came out this weekend. What Happens Later? I didn't get a
Mhm.
chance to catch it. I don't think you did either.
No.
That one opened in more than three times as many theaters and made 1.2 million less.
Nobody wanted to know what happened later. I guess at that point. But yeah, no, I'm telling you, I know this guy. He just knows numbers and he knows his audience. I think that's the
Yeah.
big thing. He knows what to give them. So hey, shout out Eugenio.